Hi, ArcfieldWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Wednesday morning, July 26th. Still a very active weather pattern across much of the nation. We'll have the threat for some severe thunderstorm activity later today across the eastern Great Lakes, northern Ohio Valley. The mid-Atlantic region took a pounding late yesterday and last night. Places like D.C., Philadelphia, New York City all got hit hard with some strong to severe thunderstorm activity and some torrential rainfall. That has been the general pattern for the last several weeks. Many areas, especially north of the Pennsylvania-Maryland border, have been inundated with rainfall over the past several weeks. And I mentioned a couple of weeks ago how I do have a concern that we really have saturated grounds in much of the mid-Atlantic region and northeast U.S., and that is with the rainfall over the last several weeks that did not include tropical moisture. So in fact, if we get hit by some kind of a tropical system in August or September, it will be more of a concern because we already have some well-saturated grounds. It doesn't look like the ground is going to get a chance to dry out anytime too soon. In fact, there'll be a threat for more showers and thunderstorms in the mid-Atlantic region, northeast U.S. later tomorrow into tomorrow night. The other big story, of course, is the heat. It has really been intense over the southwestern states over the past couple of weeks, and now it is advancing to the north and east. It looks like the hottest 2 days of the summer so far, perhaps of the entire year, will be in the mid-Atlantic region tomorrow and Friday. Again, the hottest 2 days coming Thursday and Friday. Places like D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, way up in the 90s on Thursday afternoon and again on Friday afternoon. But much relief is in sight for the second half of the upcoming weekend and the early part of next week. We get much more comfortable air moving in for Sunday and Monday into the northeastern quadrant of the nation. First, before we get to the weather, just a couple of housekeeping notes. I often post some updates later in the day at the arcfieldweather.com website. This is the home page, and yesterday, for example, if you scroll down the home page, you'll see a posting right here that was with regard to the potential for heavy showers and thunderstorms in the mid-Atlantic region, the northeast U.S. late yesterday. So certainly come and visit the arcfieldweather.com website later in the day. By the way, if anyone wants to contact me by email, you can go to the About page, and I have my email address right down here. Certainly feel free to send me an email at any time right here. You can do that through YouTube or just send me a direct email. Well, let's get back to the weather and start off with NOAA's Storm Prediction Center. And again, I wanted to point out the possibility of some severe weather today across the eastern Great Lakes and northern Ohio Valley. This is the region of concern. Later on today into tonight, there's even an enhanced risk of that severe thunderstorm activity. Now we'll move ahead into the day on Thursday, and that activity, that threat shifts to the eastern seaboard, really from D.C. to Philadelphia, New York City, all the way up to Boston and nearby areas around the I-95 corridor. We'll have a chance late tomorrow into tomorrow evening for some more strong to severe thunderstorms, and any one of those showers or thunderstorms certainly can contain some heavy rainfall. So again, today's threat, eastern Great Lakes, northern Ohio Valley, and later tomorrow across the I-95 corridor region. Well, let's now walk through the forecast maps. I want to use the 0Z run of the Canadian model. Again, this is from last night's 0Z Canadian model. We start off the day here looking at 500 millibar height anomalies from the Canadian model run. And again, we've had this intense upper level ridge sitting over the southwestern states, kind of focused in position over the Four Corners region of the nation. And this has helped to produce very hot conditions over the southwestern states over the past couple of weeks now. Now it's expanding to the north and east. You can see the orange here, which represents above normal 500 millibar heights, now expanding to the north and east, and indeed the hottest weather of the year coming to the Mid-Atlantic region for Thursday and Friday. Let's push forward here, and here we go with a lot of above normal heights here now all the way into the Mid-Atlantic region, the Northeast U.S. This is later today, and actually will be very warm today in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, but not all that different from seasonal norms this time of the year. That changes on Thursday and Friday, well above normal, well into the 90s in the I-95 corridor region. Here we go into the day on Thursday. And again, kind of an elongation of that upper level ridge into the northeast. This is, in fact, the most significant relative to normal, sitting over the Mid-Atlantic region, the Northeast U.S. for later tomorrow. And again on Friday, this is Friday afternoon forecast map. Certainly the upper 90s on the table, both tomorrow afternoon and Friday afternoon in the D.C. metro region, mid-90s for sure. Philadelphia, New York City, again, Thursday and Friday. The most intense heat will be on those 2 days. Likely not only the hottest 2 days of the summer, they could turn out to be the hottest 2 days of the year. We'll know more, of course, about that over the next several days, over the next several weeks. Here I'm talking about, again, D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, Boston corridor. Very well may turn out to be the hottest days of the entire year on Thursday and Friday. Now, let's move ahead, and we'll see a big change coming over the upcoming weekend. That upper level ridge that expands initially to the north and east and kind of pulls back to its original location. This is now all the way by Sunday morning. We see it once again focused over the Four Corners region of the U.S. Meanwhile, an upper level trough starts to impact the Great Lakes and Northeast U.S. and a much more comfortable air mass arrives into the Mid-Atlantic, Northeast U.S. by the time we get to Sunday and Monday. Much more comfortable air, below normal air, by the way. It'll be a big change from Thursday and Friday to Sunday and Monday. Well, indeed, let's take a look at how the height pattern is reflected on the temperature pattern. This is the 850 millibar temperature anomalies from the 0Z run of the Canadian model. Again, relatively close to normal as we begin the day here on Wednesday. Even this afternoon, it'll be very warm, but probably 90 degrees in D.C. That's normal for this time of the year. Maybe 88 in Philly. That's also normal for this time of the year. The next 2 days, well above normal. Here we go. We see today's intense heat relative to normal will be across the central and northern plains, way above normal, maybe 15 degrees above normal in some spots. And of course, it continues to be quite warm down in the southwestern states as well. This anomaly spreads to the north and east. And again, here we go, Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, all the way into Friday morning, Friday afternoon. Very hot days. D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, Boston. But take a look to the north and west. We kind of have a wall of cooler than normal weather by the time we get to Friday night. A drop into the south and east across southern Canada, already making its way into the northern plains by Friday night. And that continues to move to the south and east. Now, Saturday looks like we'll hold on to the heat for another day. D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, perhaps not quite as intense as on Friday. It's still a hot day ahead of an incoming cool front on Saturday. And that cool front is very likely to be accompanied by some showers and thunderstorms, and we'll have to see if, in fact, we have another chance, another round of strong thunderstorms and heavy rainfall. And here comes that cooler air mass charging to the south and east, and it arrives in the Mid-Atlantic region for Sunday, and it certainly sticks around all the way into Monday. This is the Monday afternoon forecast map with that hotter than normal weather confined once again back to the southwestern quadrant of the nation. Well, let's wrap up with the surface forecast maps, and all the green and yellows on these particular maps reflect the precipitation amounts and precipitation rates expected by this particular computer forecast model run. And again today, the area of concern for severe weather right there over places like Michigan, maybe into northern Illinois, northern Ohio. This is later today into early tonight, possibility of severe weather in that part of the nation. And that slides into the northeast by the time we get tomorrow. This is tomorrow afternoon's forecast map. You can even see kind of a surface trough or surface frontal system showing up at this particular time. This is midday, early afternoon on Thursday, and certainly there will be the chance for another round of showers and thunderstorms in the Mid-Atlantic region, northeast U.S. later tomorrow night. And that's to go along with the very hot weather conditions. We'll have temperatures peaking later tomorrow night, mid to upper 90s in this I-95 corridor region, but doesn't mean it can't rain. In fact, there is that chance for some strong thunderstorms right in this region later tomorrow night. Then we move forward the day on Friday. Again, very hot conditions. By the way, taking a look here, just notice the thickness line. I want to point this out. 576 thickness line. We've talked about the thickness line before. These, what we call the 1,000 to 500 millibar thicknesses, correlated to the temperatures in the lower half of the atmosphere. Basically, the higher those thicknesses, the higher the temperatures. You see a 576 thickness cutting all the way across northern Pennsylvania, southern New York. That tells you it's very, very hot, low-level conditions, low-level air mass, very hot indeed. This could be the hottest day of the summer and of the year on Friday afternoon. But that 576 thickness will certainly change dramatically over the upcoming week. In fact, let's take a look at that as we move forward. By the way, there could be a few showers, scattered thunderstorms late Friday night in the I-95 corridor region. Then we move into the upcoming weekend. Here's the Saturday morning forecast map. A couple of the big players. Cool Canadian high showing up on the maps over the southwestern part of Canada, and that air mass drives to the south and east. And here we go. Let's back up a little bit. This is a Saturday evening forecast map, and indeed there'll be a frontal system right in this area right here come Saturday evening. It certainly can be accompanied by some showers and thunderstorms, and the yellows here are telling you possibility of some heavy rain as well, certainly up across Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, into New England on late Saturday night. Now let's move forward here, and we move. That front does indeed push off the East Coast by the time we get to Sunday afternoon. Remember, we were talking about those thickness levels, and here we go. By the time we get to Monday morning, thickness now all the way down into northern Maryland, 564. So remember, we had on Friday a 576 thickness all the way up across southern New York, drops all the way down to 564, all the way down into the Pennsylvania-Maryland border region, reflecting the cooler air mass and below normal air mass that will arrive in the Mid-Atlantic region for Sunday and Monday. So a lot going on. Still an active weather pattern that could produce some strong to severe thunderstorms today across the eastern Great Lakes, northern Ohio Valley, tomorrow, late tomorrow, across the I-95 corridor region from D.C. to Boston. Then very hot conditions make their way all the way into the northeastern part of the nation for Thursday and Friday. The hottest 2 days of the summer so far, D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, Boston on Thursday and Friday. Again, they could turn out to be the hottest 2 days of the entire year. We'll know more about that in coming days. And then the big change comes over the weekend with a cool front dropping to the south and east across the Great Lakes and then into the northeastern part of the nation, probably late Saturday night. One more hot day on Saturday, but then showers and thunderstorms will signal the arrival of that cooler air mass for Sunday and Monday. That's it for now. For ArcfieldWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.